Will there be another American Revolution? Today it seems obvious that American institutions are stuck. People are caught up in student debt and don't feel that their children will have better lives than they did. They notice that government is very expensive, yet not doing much. They note companies seem to no longer provide the innovation and quality of service that they once expected of them. They note that there are foreign rivals from China to Russia, from Iran to Saudi Arabia, that are perhaps eating into American influence abroad. Where does this leave us? It leaves us with a profound feeling of unease, a desire for an event. Something should happen, right? Something should resolve this tension. And some of us look at this with fear and others with hope. Some worry that inequality in the United States will lead to something like a socialist revolution. Others hope that UBI will come in and provide prosperity and abundance for all on the back of automated servants. Some worry that there will be extremist groups advocating nationalist or even fascist agendas. Others hope that finally they will have autonomy from the federal government that has so intrusively trampled on local government all over the United States. These hopes, these fears, are more fantasies than realities. The mechanics of revolution are not often discussed, but we have to think through the mechanics of any such venture before we can either dread it or hope for it. Firstly, revolution is a lot of work. It is not a spontaneous outpouring of the ill will of the people. It is not a spontaneous event where people become very upset and the king is thrown out the window and then we figure out a new government. The popular perception of the French Revolution is peasants with pitchforks. Nothing could be further from the truth. Peasants with pitchforks were fighting for the king, not against the king. You should read about the incident of the Vendée massacre, where the revolutionary French government killed many farmers and rebels who were fighting in a spontaneously organized pro-royal military against the forces of the French Parliament. The French Revolution was mostly carried out by the Jacobin Club. This was a society far-reaching with many well-educated members who were parts of the French civil service. Yes, the French civil service played a vital role in materially supporting and empowering revolutionaries. In fact, if you think about it, government workers are the biggest possible threat to any regime. Something as simple as bureaucrats deciding to listen to the orders of someone else rather than the nominal head of state, or, more obviously, the military siding with a different government and executing a coup. These are the real mechanics of revolution in almost all countries observed around the world. Even in the United States, the first American Revolution was not an outpouring and spontaneous organization of yeoman farmers. Rather, it was the state governments that had already existed under the British Crown banding together to oppose the British Crown. So we are talking here about some of America's most educated, wealthy, and well-connected elites using already existing state apparatuses to oppose the empire as a whole. The American Civil War can be viewed as an element that's quite similar. You had state governments fighting a federal government. My own background is from Slovenia, which used to be part of Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia was a federal government. In theory, it had highly dispersed powers between the various republics making it up, such as Slovenia and Croatia and Serbia. In practice, while Josip Broz Tito was alive, all power was concentrated in him. It was a communist dictatorship. After his death, the paper reality became the real reality, and the elites of different Yugoslav republics started fighting each other, leading to a breakup. Now, we can't merely call any breakup or independence movement a revolution. A revolution usually has a change in social structure. The transition from the ancien regime of monarchical France to revolutionary France with its republican ideals, or the translation of the Tsar's Russia, rooted in orthodoxy, to an atheist communist state under Vladimir Lenin. We can also consider transitions such as the overthrow of the Persian Shah, replaced with the Islamic Republic in Iran. These cases have the empowerment of a new class of people and the change of social conventions pervading society and the construction of new institutions. All three of those are things that require a lot of planning and preparation. Ayatollah Khomeini was pursuing revolutionary activities for years before the revolution in Iran came about. He was finding individuals, laying plans, writing out preparatory constitutions. Vladimir Lenin did much the same. He wrote an essay that's very interesting, titled "What is to be Done?" In it, he advocates that mere book clubs of Marxists, book clubs, mind you, well attended by members of the Russian civil service, should be transformed into active party cells. Decades of organization, years of fundraising, very conspicuous public activity. You might ask yourself, well, why did not the Shah try to prosecute Ayatollah Khomeini? Why did not the Tsar try to get rid of Lenin? The answer is they did. Vladimir Lenin fled abroad. So this gives us another interesting factor. You have to have either the acquiescence of your own government, so the government has to have elements that are favorable to you and will protect you while you're carrying out revolutionary activities, or you have to have sympathetic foreign governments, such as perhaps the Swiss government or the German government. During World War I, Vladimir Lenin was put on a train from Germany to Russia. Once in St. Petersburg, he received a stipend of financial support from German intelligence to carry out revolutionary activity. For the Germans, supporting Vladimir Lenin was not a matter of deep personal conviction. They themselves had a rather conservative society. No, it was an act of war against the Tsarist regime. If we look at the United States today, it is quite obvious that government workers are not members of revolutionary organizations. It is clear that the federal government and its many branches, such as the FBI, the CIA, and the NSA, are constantly on the lookout for organized insurgent groups. It is also clear that American security services can handle any would-be insurrection. Further, there is no strong foreign support, either from Russia or China, for insurgent activity or for revolutionary activity at all. Lastly, who is the architect of the upcoming revolution? Who is America's Ayatollah Khomeini? Who is America's Vladimir Lenin? Is it Bernie Sanders? Really? No. Therefore, whether America's institutions work well or not, whether we should fear the revolution or look forward to it, it's not going to happen in the United States. We will have to find other ways to fix our institutions and secure a better future. My name is Samo Burja. I'm the founder of Bismarck Analysis. Thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe.